Hi guys, welcome back to the 6th episode of Pizza Talks. As you can see, we're virtual and we'll be staying virtual due to corona restrictions, both in Greece and the rest of the world. This is Sophia.
And I am Achilleas.
Today we're going to be talking a little bit about fast fashion, but first we want to start by doing a little bit of a news brief. So we want to talk about Miss Sophie Themelis, our wellness coach at Deree, who is continuing with her online relaxation and meditation sessions. Do not miss out on the chance to be zen and to find some peace during quarantine. You can find the link to her Zoom in the description box below. An online lecture is going to be planned by Women in Technology and the Science Club on the 9th of December at 2 p.m. It is called A Look into Greece's Informatics Sector Through the Eyes of Dr. Maria Vivrou. For students of IT-related subjects, this is a vital online lecture, and you can send an email with the email address linked down below.
We'd like to also talk about the Innovation Club, where an event is going to happen 9th December, 2:30 until 3:30 during activity hour, and we are going to host Miltos, which is the founder and managing partner of Dolphin Capital, and we're going to talk about how to create a successful business. If you're very interested in this topic, which in my opinion it is, please contact the Innovation Club, where you will find their email below. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and please stay safe during these times. Us, Videography Club and the Student Affairs also wishes you everyone good luck on finals too.
Okay, fast fashion is defined as cheap, trendy clothing that samples ideas from both the catwalk and celebrity culture, and then turns them into garments for high street stores like H&M, Zara, Forever 21, which doesn't exist anymore, thankfully, just to keep up with the ever-changing demand. Fashion used to be based so much differently and used to come out 4 times a year. So they would do summer season, spring season, fall, and winter. But nowadays, with stores like Shein or Zaful, even the main stores like H&M, they come out with things daily, weekly. I saw this really cool thing online, and I didn't know this. I know I've done a lot of research on fast fashion. It's a really sad topic, but H&M is the oldest fast fashion retailer. And I didn't know that. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great topic talking about fast fashion, and I think that times have changed, and I think the issue that created this whole situation was globalization to begin with. Because you remember the old times, during modeling 2000, if you remember, where all the high models like Naomi Campbell, Giselle, everyone showed us the clothes where they came out 4 times per year. Now we have this fast fashion that proceeds to more and more and more of I don't know how to say that, but they do not care about fashion anymore. They only care about profits at this point. And I think that people are okay with that, which is very bad for the environment and for us as humans. I don't know. Fast fashion is a great topic, and I just want to hear your opinion about that.
Yeah, I mean, the quality of the clothing is so bad. I have been thrifting and shopping on online thrift stores like Depop, Poshmark, ThreadUp, and going to thrift stores for a really long time now. And I started sewing and making things or whatever, and it's so interesting because once I started sewing myself, I started learning more about fabrics, and the majority of the fabrics made by fast fashion retailers are basically plastic. No, they're completely plastic. Polyester is plastic, nylon is plastic, acrylic, polyamide, lycra, vegan leather, that's all plastic. You're basically wearing a plastic bag, not a plastic bag, but you know what I mean, right? And then it's with So it's like it doesn't break down, and then we throw away so much, and we're going through so many of them. I saw this statistic where it was like 2014 people spent like bought 3 times more clothing than they've ever bought, but they're throwing it away 3 times faster. It's scary. It's really scary.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think that, as you said, they care about the quality at this point. They only care about the profits. And if people still buy these clothes and people still wear these clothes, they will still produce these clothes at this point. I mean, everyone wears these clothes. Everyone likes these clothes. I personally do not shop from them, but I do not thrift. So I'm just in a mid situation where I'm not into fast fashion, of course, but I'm not into thrifting either. So I'm just in a, I don't know. I don't know what to
It's
do at
hard
this
though
point.
because there are so many designer brands who use fast fashion tactics, fast fashion, I don't want to say material, but equally as exploited workers, and most times in similar factories, like Prada, Miu Miu, all of LMV or LVMH, which is Louis Vuitton, Celine, Dior, Fendi, Givenchy, Kenzo, Marc Jacobs, Hermes, Chanel, and Ralph Lauren, they all use child slave labor. And so all of the clothes we buy, it doesn't really matter how much we spend on it. I think it really matters the quality of the company has blood on it. Like we're just wearing, I don't know, it kind of freaks me out sometimes how like people are dying for our clothing and we couldn't care any less how often we wear it.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think that's, of course, we do not know anything about these companies yet because these are accusations, and I totally agree with you. But I don't think the company will care to create a change. I think that the country itself that hosts these factories or hosts these um, fashion brands should create a change, like should create a law that prohibits the use of children, like to
I think
work.
it's difficult though. They can't necessarily create a law. Their entire economy is based on the fact that they use slave labor, and they depend extremely heavily on the fact that these contracts for textiles are out there, textile productions. I think it would more need to be the big countries like the EU, the United States, countries that have the most consumers to implement regulations on the type of like the regulations for the type of labor that are used to make our clothing, because it's not going to be possible for Bangladesh or what are some of the other places, I don't know, to implement regulations if their economy is based so heavily on having them around.
Yeah, there are a lot of economical profits at this point, and a lot of economical gains that we do not know
True.
and we do not care actually at this point because it is their money. It is their they have their own goal to profit. We don't know their goals. We don't know what to profit of. We don't know anything. I don't know where fast fashion is going on. I think that everyone has an opinion about fast fashion these days, and it's good
True.
because millennials and Gen Z try to create a change at this point. I'm sorry, but that's very nice that we are a very radical generation at this point.
Have you seen the Netflix documentary The True Cost?
Yeah,
I don't know if
but
it's
I was not
on
very.
in Greece or not.
No, I use a VPN, but I haven't completed it. Like, it was
Okay.
like 10 minutes in.
Yeah, it basically profiles one of the biggest scandals that happened in modern times to bring to light the issues with fast fashion. There was obviously I talked about the one that happened in New York City, but we cut that. But in 2013, the Rana Plaza clothing manufacturing complex collapsed in Bangladesh and killed over 1,000 workers. And I don't know if you remember hearing it on the news, but it was a really, really big deal. I mean, it didn't get a ton of coverage time because, like, celebrities and, you
Yeah.
know, what they're wearing gets way more coverage time. But the people who made all their clothing that basically died. And it was a huge wake-up call to a lot of international organizations who cared about slave labor and child labor and sweatshops. But the Industrial Revolution, which already happened in this, like, in modernized countries, brought about this very, very similar things in our industrialized countries. And I think that third world countries, and I'm not trying to like classify them, but countries that aren't necessarily as industrialized are going through things like that right now. And so they're having the emergence of so many sweatshops that are just based on like such little amount. These girls are getting paid, I think it was equivalent of $96 a month, which is 3 times less the amount that would be considered decent. And decent not as in like, oh, like I'm comfortable, as in like food, which is, yeah.
That's very sad actually, because I think that children and women till this day are considered a minority in many countries, which is very, very bad, and they're taken advantage of. And you know what? Do you know Queen's Gambit?
I have not seen it. I know you told me to, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It's about chess, right?
It's about chess, but it's not about
Okay.
chess itself. It's about, I don't know, like speaking about women in science that we mentioned before, like women in technology. It is an amazing show, not because she plays chess, but it's how she is portrayed during this show. It's about like I don't know the exact date. I don't know when it's dated, but it's very old for sure. It's like Soviet Russia, for example. And basically it's Beth Harmon, which is like a problematic young girl that her mother committed suicide. She never met her father. And this show, I very much loved it because it was mainly focused on Beth herself and her abilities, and not to objectify her, because in many movies, for example, like I don't know,
True.
Superwoman, we objectify women, like we try to create a sexual appeal out of them. This did not happen in Queen's Gambit. It was not about her appearance. It was not a major thing. She was very beautiful, but it was not a major thing that made her stood out. But we finally saw a woman that wins in life beside her difficulties or her abilities or disabilities. She won because she was very talented. She was an amazing young girl, and she was very passionate. That I mean, I love not the secret message, but the the social movement that this show tried to pass on to these generations, because we are not very sensitive about human rights. Yes, we talk about them. Yes, we respect them, but we still haven't made a prominent change. I don't know what's your opinion about that.
I get so frustrated when I have to see interviews of women on the red carpet. I know they're not happening now because of COVID, but every time you see a woman on the red carpet who's being interviewed, the first fucking question, it doesn't even matter. Sorry, bleep pizza. The first question is literally, who are you wearing? And they're not there because they're wearing a pretty dress. They're there because they did their job and they performed well in a movie or on a song or something else. You know, they're not asking the costume director what they're wearing, or the costume.
You know what? I think that not stereotype. I mean, just that phrase was born because out of models, like during the I don't know 2000s, when, as we mentioned before, these amazing models, they were only asked what you're wearing, because they couldn't say anything else in a context like, they were just models at this period of time, and they were and there were so many stereotypes that we did not respect women. We just objectified them, and I think that stereotype still happens until this day, as you mentioned before. Like they always ask what you're wearing, and not, oh, you won an Oscar. Okay, we do not care. Are you wearing Prada today? Like, that's absurd in my opinion. Like, that drives me crazy. that they only care about their appearance. Like, why do we still objectify women? Like, no one does not objectify women. Everyone does, and that's very confusing and that's very frustrating for me. I don't know.
As a woman, it is. No, yeah, 100%. I was talking with my friend one time, not to out him, and he was like, my dad's business was a news organization, and we weren't doing so well. Like, people weren't clicking to our channel, so one of his business partners was like, we'll just get a really like hot girl and put her out there, and people will go to the video or to the channel. And I was like, well, are you gonna tell her like it's okay, but are you gonna tell her that she's basically gonna be a model, not a newscaster? Like, are you gonna tell her she's gonna be a newscaster, or are you gonna tell her she's gonna be a model? And he was like, a newscaster. And I was like, yes and no. Like, she's not, but you're not hiring her because of her skills. You're not hiring her because she does her job really well, when there are so many women out there. If you're really that concerned about picking a woman over a man for that role, then there are many beautiful, qualified women that you can choose, instead of just choosing someone because it's easier to look at or it's more entertaining in a sense. I don't know. But there are so many examples, and I could talk forever about the way that the world objectifies women. I think we all could.
You know what, though? I don't think that they are that it was a problematic thought. Of course it was, don't get me wrong, but it was a marketing plan. I mean, the problem is the idea that we still
but imagine if you had been told like, oh, you're gonna get this top position.
No, I totally agree with you. I'm just saying that we all have that idea that, oh my gosh, this is very, very hot. I'm just gonna watch this channel because it's very hot. It's not
Of course.
only their problem, it's ours too, because I put myself in it too. And I'm 100% sure that you could put yourself in it too, because if you saw a hot guy, you would watch the news because of him. Like, everyone does that.
There are really bad shows I watch just because of the actors.
You know what? Yeah, because we still objectify people. We still care about the appearance of everyone, especially in an era where plastic surgery. Yes, sex sells, and plastic surgery is thriving at this point. It's thriving. Everyone has plastic surgeries because they want to look hot. They want to follow the stereotypes. They want to, as you mentioned before, sex sells. And men
I think social media.
Rich.
Sorry.
No, go.
Social media has made the consumerism with fast fashion so bad. You see all these little influencers, like, okay, little, they're probably the same age. These influencers saying things like, I only wear an outfit once, which just tells their millions of followers that they should be consuming clothing very, very fast, and they should be consuming items really fast, There's like this whole, especially with like, you always have to have like a cute outfit, something that hasn't been done before, It creates this whole new concept with the way that we think about the way we dress, instead of just dressing to be comfortable or to feel confident. It's turned into more of like turned into the way the internet worked, which is just competition in a very shallow way.
I think that's very fun, because I think that the celebrities, as you mentioned before, their followers at least, or people do not know that these clothes that they wear are created from stylists, and these stylists do not throw away these clothes. They return them, and they send the wrong message. It's not that they're putting them to trash. It's not like Kylie Jenner is going to trash her Louis Vuitton outfit. She's going to return it. But you know what? Wrong message.
Obviously Kylie Jenner and like the people who are like worldwide famous are being styled by people and then giving it back because there's showrooms and their whatnot. But you have even influencers who are 15, 16, 17 years old who are not being given complete wardrobes. They're giving like one outfit when they go to a fashion week that they're paid to do, which I get, and they return that obviously. But like they're a lot of the clothes that they're wearing, influencers, not just like the big ones like Kylie Jenner, because I would consider her more of a celebrity that is also influencing than just like a basic influencer, somebody like
She's not an
I don't know,
influencer
like,
for sure.
right? Like she has more of a cultural impact. But some of them are wearing like their a whole Instagram feed is Zaffle. And you know Zaffle is not sending them clothing. I mean, obviously they're sending them clothing, but they're not sending them clothing to be sent back.
Yeah.
That's not clothing that's being recycled, and it's not quality clothing, so it can't really be, I mean, it's gonna stay forever. It's pure plastic.
I mean, you cannot reuse Zafel because
it's like a Twinkie.
I would be very embarrassed to wear Zafel at this point. I don't know. I fucking hate their quality. I don't wanna get sued by the company, but I don't like cheap quality and I don't like fast fashion in general. Like I would prefer to wear like a designer clothes, which is considered fast fashion because it is very mainstream at this point. But I prefer at least designer, like not Zafel. Like I would prefer.
No, of course.
Like, I don't know, Giambattista Valli, for example, like rather than H&M or Zara.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of designer brands that actually do a good job at creating sustainable pieces that I would consider more high quality than a lot of the ones that are in the main houses. But like, it's difficult for companies like Forever 21 or companies that resemble things like Forever 21 to even stay in business for a very, very long time. There is always a shelf life for companies like that because their overhead is so expensive because they're creating so much merchandise so fast that there's nowhere for it to go. I mean, I was in Santa Barbara not too long ago, and there was a Forever 21 store that was completely closed down. They've been closed down for probably a year, maybe a year and a half now, and it had like mountains of just clothes that untouched. The store is completely like you can tell it has not been opened in months, maybe a year, and there's just tons of clothing sitting in there and nothing is going to happen to it. They have so much merchandise that they don't necessarily sell often that it doesn't really go anywhere.
Maybe it's a retail shop right now. I don't know. Maybe it's for orders on, I don't know. Like
Forever 21 was completely closed down. Like they were bankrupt. They went bankrupt because they
were bankrupt, but
I don't think did they do online?
I don't know. I haven't searched that. I forgot about Forever 21.
I don't know. It was a really big deal for fast fashion because it's one of the first fast fashions to like one of the mainstream fast fashions to go completely bankrupt, and for it to be one of the first companies that proved that their overhead and the way that they rapidly produce is not sustainable economically. Obviously for the environment it's not sustainable and everyone knows that, but like economically from a business standpoint it's not sustainable either.
Yeah, because you're gonna gain profit for 5 years, you're gonna get that revenue for like, I don't know, $40 billion, and then you go bankrupt. Like, I think the problem with Forever 21 and the reason why they went bankrupt was because mainly because they did not have I don't know how could you say that nicely, but
cute clothes.
They did not have
cut that out.
No, they did not have taste in them. Like they were
Let's
basic.
talk about it.
They were very tacky. They were very, very tacky. Not
Preach.
Not about quality. The quality was very bad, but they were not even nice. Like they didn't even try. Like they just put on the label, which was Forever 21, and then they threw it off. Like it wasn't amazing.
Oh, I know, and they did so many weird collabs. Like I remember.
Let's see, this collabs was my favorite.
Oh my god, I know. They did one with the post office. I was like, so odd. I don't know. Forever 21 is such a meme in itself.
You know what? I loved many of their shirts until you turn the back and they have like a huge logo which says eat pizza and sleep. Like,
It's crazy.
I don't know the context behind the creation of Forever 21, but you know what? There are many fashion designers right now that I know of, and I personally know a lot that are doing an amazing job, even in sustainability, which Vogue talked about a lot. Which Anna Wintour
that's
talked about
awesome.
sustainability, and the reason
We gotta
why
put
we
that
care
link in
about
the
that-
description box below.
Yeah, we have to, because people have to read this. I think that many will think, for example, like, okay, I don't have a sense of style. I don't care about fashion. Yes, you have to care about fashion because you still wear clothes, you still wear shoes. Everything concerns everyone. Fashion
True.
is for everyone. Just because you do not care about fashion does not mean you're not part of it. You still buy clothes. You still care how you look. You know what I mean? Sustainability is a big issue at the end of the day, to come to a conclusion. And I think we should support artists that support sustainability. I think we should promote and push fashion designers who promote sustainability either. For example, like one great fashion designer that I adore is John Battista Valli. I don't know if you know him, but you know what? I stopped liking him because he did a collab with H&M, and it was very disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, even if you don't care about fashion, the topic of fashion nowadays is not even about fashion. The textile production industry contributes to more climate change than international aviation and shipping combined. And it takes about the amount of 2.5 years worth of water for a human, like for us to drink 2 years worth of water. Imagine the amount. It takes that much, which is around 2,700 liters, to create one cotton shirt.
Yeah, no.
And that's not even the dye, which is so toxic to the workers, so incredibly toxic. And especially for women, because our bodies are very sensitive to chemicals with our reproductive system. It's so incredibly harmful, especially since they're children.
Yeah. And the emission of carbon is out of this world to produce white collar t-shirts. Like, I don't know. It's very frustrating though. Yeah, but we have to change the topic because I think we're gonna be very sad after this, and everyone's gonna be equally sad. We have to talk
Well,
about.
there are definitely things that we can do to help fight fast fashion.
For sure. I mean, everyone should do a research on their own, because you know what? When you tell them someone did not believe you, they have to do a research by themselves. So they see what truly goes on in this world, and then they should take actions by themselves. Also, out of this topic, I would like to refer, Sophia, have you watched Euphoria?
I have not. I know it's really good, but I can't find a bootleg version, and I don't have HBO. And I feel like I've already kind of seen it because of all the like TikToks and videos online.
It's an amazing
I'll watch
show,
it.
and season 2 is coming
watch
out tomorrow. You have to watch it.
Oh,
It's an amazing show,
okay.
and I would suggest everyone that hears us to watch Euphoria, because it's a true depiction of Generation Z. It's the most raw depiction of Generation Z. It has everything in it. I don't want to mention what it has in it, because it's explicit, but it's.
I think
truly
most of us
us.
kind of know.
Yeah, it's everything though. It's very raw and it's very harsh for everyone. It's very
Mhm.
triggering. But it's very real, and that's why I appreciate. That's why I appreciate it very, very much. Also, coronavirus finally comes to an end.
Oh,
Maybe
I
next
saw the
year.
thing with the prime minister. I don't know if
Yeah.
we're allowed to talk about that, but drama.
Yeah, please actually tell me. Yeah, I just want to mention about the coronavirus that I've heard that after this September
Oh,
we're going to be normal again. But I don't know. I was very glad to hear that.
yeah. I hope it gets better.
Also, I want to hear any celebrity you have because I have none.
Oh no, I was talking about the Prime Minister of Greece because I know that you guys were like extended your
Oh no,
lockdown.
we're not going to do political
No, I know.
poli-
I was just
political thing here.
joking.
I know what you're going to mention, but we're not supposed to do political conversations here. Um, yeah, don't you have any celebrity? Because I think that celebrities right now are very silent, and I'm mad because I don't have anything. No one is interesting anymore. Not even Jeffree Star. Like,
Oh, I mean, okay. If I'm gonna be honest, I've been through a roller coaster of support for him, and right now I'm not a fan. I'm gonna be honest. I think that I used to be a fan way back when I was on YouTube. I think my first video on YouTube was Willow Smith's "I Whip My Hair Back and Forth," and so whenever that came out was when I started watching YouTube. So I've been on YouTube for a really long time, back when it was like
That's
O2L and the Janoskins, and I was kind of a fan of Jeffree Star. He was odd and eccentric, and then I kind of just lost touch with him. I wasn't really a big fan, and then Shane Dawson's series came out, and it kind of highlighted his like more personal life and things that he had been through, and I felt really, inspired by his story, and I was like, wow, like he's such a businessman, or so like whatever. He hasn't come out with his pronouns, so I'm not trying to like assume, but and then everything happened where he like, I don't know, I just recently with specific scandals, I just feel like it's not in my best interest to support him. And I think I think there's a saying that says power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I think that a lot of fame and money and constant reaffirmations from likes and comments just can get to anybody's head, and I think that it's really gotten to some of their heads.
yeah. You know what? I'm not a supporter anymore, but he's been through many things. He's been bullied.
Yeah, he has.
I don't know. He's been many things, which does not mean that he has to have this behavior, which is very problematic. The only thing that I appreciate about him is his very successful business, $1 billion revenue.
True,
He's
100%.
an amazing businessman. He's very smart. He is a great investor. But other than that, he has personality problems, and I think he has to find himself. I think he has to take some time alone and focus on himself rather than buying a
Honestly,
house
when his
or find a
boyfriend and him
boyfriend.
broke up, or find a boyfriend. No, that's what happened. I swear to God, Nate was the best thing in his life. And I know that's so mean to say, but I feel like I really supported him when he was with Nate. I felt like he was a good person, and he was probably doing shady stuff at the same time, but it didn't seem like he was like so malicious. And like, maybe it's just because things have come out recently, but the things that I've seen, and who knows if they're true, right? We really never know, are just so
You know what,
mean,
though?
and they seem evil.
Yeah, but every celebrity is malicious. In my opinion, I think that
Fair enough.
he is the victim right now. No, wait, that sounds very wrong. Let me correct that. He's not
you're
the
good.
victim, of course. But I think that he's the victim in the showbiz because everyone is malicious in the movie,
That's
in
true.
the
That's
showbiz. But they're trying to put everything on him so they can hide their scandals. But you know what? It's his problem too because he's very public. He does not have a filter, which is not all the time good because I don't know. I followed him on MySpace when I was a kid. I had him on
Oh my
MySpace.
gosh. That was
which
so long ago.
That was a very traumatic experience, though. Like, I don't know, that was a very traumatic experience. Like, because Jeffree Star in MySpace was something else, I swear to God. He was something out of his world. Like, he was. I don't know, I cannot express the true feelings, but it was very traumatic. For sure. I was scared,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I saw this. I was watching a podcast recently. I don't know if it was one of David Dobrik or something like that. I'm not a fan of them either. I just, keep up to date with random stuff. And they were
You're
talking
right.
about
You're
how
support.
Oh no, I think he's kind of scary. He has a very scary. I don't know. Something about
I
him doesn't
only
sit
remember
well
him
with
about
me.
Madison Beer.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. I mean, they were dating and he broke up. I don't know. I cannot remember. Like, it was a huge scandal. I cannot understand why Madison Beer ever dated David Dobrik, but that's very mean, so I'm not going to continue talking. You can go on though.
I don't know. I didn't know that they dated. She's really, really beautiful. And he seems like he's smart. Or at least very driven. And that accounts for something. But basically they were talking about how a lot of celebrities who are older now, they've kind of got lost in their character. And they were basically discussing the fact that they believe that it's really important for people in that business who create this persona, like Jeffree Star, to separate that from themselves, because the only way to stay relevant, for your persona to stay relevant, is basically for scandals and for like bad things to happen. You don't really get canceled, right? You can lose 2 million followers overnight. You're still gonna have 14 million followers. And I know it's devastating for them, and I'm not trying to minimize it, but like it is, you still have 14 million followers.
You're still going to gain them. You're still going to gain them. You're still gonna get views because even if you're not followed, people still care about your videos.
And the
People still
moment that
care
you
about-
lose that many, people are gonna just keep clicking on your page to see how many you lost, which means you're gonna gain more
Exactly.
followers.
Exactly. Also, Jeffree Star has invested his money. He does not care about YouTube money. Like, he does
No, he
not
doesn't.
care about YouTube money. So I don't know. It just, but that's very sad because imagine having so much money, having so much fame, but having so much hate from everyone. Like, you cannot go out and feel loved. I think that Kylie Jenner is very lucky because she does not have scandals. She does not. Like, her only scandal was if her lips were real at this point.
She faked being a billionaire.
Well,
You know that,
what?
right?
That's a very common
threw
thing to do. And I'm just gonna explain to you the reason why we do that in economy. Because, for example, per se, you're an investor, okay? So you're thinking of buying 50% of my company. If I say to you it's worth like I don't know, $50 million, you're not going to buy that company because you do not care about that, because you're gonna invest half of your money. If I say to you I have $1 billion revenue, you want to buy that. I've heard many sketchy things about Kylie Cosmetics in general, which probably they are true, because who wears Kylie Cosmetics? Like, I don't know anyone. For $1 billion company, we should all
Well,
have Kylie Cosmetics lip kiss at this point.
Forbes came out with a statement because, and you can, like, there's an article basically by Forbes. I think it's on the New York Times website. And I read it. Basically, she contacted them for multiple years in a row, trying to be on the Forbes youngest billionaire, whatever that list is, okay? And she wasn't getting on it. She wasn't. So the last year, because it had nothing to do with investors. They do not need investors. They have the Kardashians do not need investors. She basically contacted them with fraudulent like numbers. And she's worth 900 million, which is such a crazy number in itself. But they lied about it, and then threw this massive party where everyone that was like hired to like work and organize the event wore these massive like Forbes youngest billionaire shirts, and knowing all along that she wasn't a true billionaire. And I know it's like not that much, but the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire is a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's a very big difference.
You know what? Queen was manifesting the $1 billion at this point. She was manifesting that. She was manifesting to be a billionaire. She was like, I'm just gonna use
lying.
No. She used manifestation method.
Manifest in your bedroom. Don't manifest to the entire world on Forbes magazine and throw a party about it. I'm sorry. There's a difference.
Anyone who has money can go on Forbes. Like, it's amazing because
they're pretty strict when it comes to that list. It's because they can't. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. What I read is like they were really strict, and she was really frustrated because she hadn't gone on it for like the previous 3 years. So then finally she was like, "Come look."
Maybe for billionaires, because I had a friend who was like a millionaire, but not that successful. Like he was old money millionaire. He was not a businessman at all. I'm not gonna out him. Sorry if you're watching this podcast, but he was on Forbes. He was on the Forbes. He had an article saying that he's like, I don't know, like, no, I'm not gonna say the context because anyone could Google it right now. But it was basically how successful he has become and got all this money. And I was like, you inherited that money. You know what? I don't understand why people do that and why they want to show off. Like Kylie Jenner, as you mentioned before, like we have to look at the economical problem that you're going to create by saying all these lies. Because you know what? People will think that fast fashion that we mentioned before is out of context, but everything connects to a dot. Everything connects to a dot.
It does, because now it's fast cosmetics.
Fast cosmetics,
which is just as bad.
Exactly. And then we go to fast business, which I don't know if there's a term about that. But fast business, I mean, business creating a business closing. But it was everything is a problem right now. It was a very nice conversation, although.
I'm really glad we got to meet.
I know
it's not in person, but still.
I'm very glad that we had this podcast together, and I hope we do the podcast with the ring lights, with everything, with the microphones, eating pizza though. I just want to join the pizza talks.
Okay, Kostas puts barbecue sauce on his pizza. Like instead, like I get it on an addition, but without the tomato sauce. Like just barbecue sauce.
No, I only eat like, I don't know, cheese, like pizza with cheese. I don't eat anything else. I will leave Pizza Talks podcast if I see anyone eating pizza with pineapple. I'm just gonna quit. I swear to God. I know, because I've seen your podcast. That's why I'm saying that. I swear to God.
Okay, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys for all listening and tuning into this episode of Pizza Talks. This has been Sophia the First.
Achilleas the First. No, the second. I don't know.
No, the first is fine. I'm just making a joke because I don't want my last name out there. And we want to wish everyone a good luck on their finals, and make sure you wear a mask, stay home, stay safe. If you feel sick, get checked. Signing off.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining, guys.